How many times have you been worried about something for weeks, maybe months, and this thing never ended up happening? I think sometimes we forget to remember these things that happen in our life, right? So say you had this event you were stressed about for 2-3 weeks, maybe months, maybe years. And then when it finally got to that day that you were stressing about, nothing you were worried about happened. That means that you were wasted 3 weeks, whatever the time length is, maybe even years of stress hormones running through your body, aging you. Hopefully after watching this video, you'll be less likely to stress like that, right? One of the books that profoundly has helped my life is the Delegate Ching. So from the Delegate Ching, it basically says the great Tao flows everywhere. All things are born from it, yet it doesn't create them. It pours itself into its work, yet it makes no claim. It nourishes worlds, but it doesn't claim them, right? So what I get from this or from the Tao in general, a lot of the Tao is about relinquishing your power, right? So the more you relinquish your power, the more you trust others, the more powerful you actually become. Right? So this makes a lot of sense when you think of it in a business sense. When you're trying to control everything, it can be quite stressful. So, and to grow as people or as a business, we must learn to trust others, right? We already do. We already trust people and everyone in society to do their job so that we're able to do ours. We trust that the electricians work, all the roads are built and whatnot. So we really all depend on each other already. So this is actually unity. I think we're already unified. The only thing we really need is this realization of this unity. More people need to realize this unity, right? So, but when you realize this, and the more you see it and realize what oneness actually is, and you're more likely to take advantage of it or try and live your life in that way, right? So the more we try to obtain power over the rest of the universe, the more we actually separate ourselves. So we feel less than at one than ever when we're trying to control something, right? So to become one with the world, to become one with the universe, it's a certain level of letting go, a certain level of trusting the flow of life. Most of the resistance is an overactive mind, right? And to quiet the mind, remember to focus on elongating your breath. Use it like a switch to switch from thinking to feeling to experiencing, and that's going to help you root yourself in the present moment. And I think that's one of the hardest things for us to do is like learn to quiet the mind and learn to relax and learn to be present. And presence is experiencing. So where do our decisions come from? Our decisions are one of those things that make us exhausted, right? So making decisions is what leads to worry. So we're always worrying from one decision to the next. We're always worrying that if we're taking in enough data, right, that we're not taking in enough data. We're worried about taking in data to make the right decision. But I find that after doing this long enough or just living my life all these years, it's like you reach this point where you realize that you could never have taken in enough data to actually make the right decision. There's too many things. There's too many variables that we can't see, right? And any situation is actually infinite, really. So it's best to trust your gut and to trust the universe. I know that's easier said than done, but this is what I'm doing with this yoga studio, right? So I just took it one thing at a time. I saw, I didn't have the money at the time when I saw the studio, and I had this idea for hot yoga with a cold plunge, and I actually tried to get other people to with more experience running studio to take it over and do it, but that didn't work out, and I just had this concept, and I met the right people. The right people believed in it, believed in me, and they invested in it, and here we are. Now I'm just improving this yoga studio one day at a time. And mainly one of the main points of bringing this up is like, I've basically, sorry, a text came up. I can't think. But basically, what I'm talking about here is delegating, right? So learning to delegate one thing to I can't run all these classes, and I actually have a photo video business that I'm trying to run, and in that I'm delegating people as well, and that's what it means to be more powerful by being able to delegate. You're essentially making yourself more powerful by having other people, by relying on other people and working with them. And I have this thing, if you're interested, comment 80% rule. I would love to explain that to you. If you're interested in it, send me, just comment 80% and I'll talk to you about it. And if you want to know more about breath and awareness, comment breath and I'll get to you on that as well. So when I was developing this studio, I couldn't see all the possibilities, I didn't worry. I just kind of took it one thing to another. Don't get me wrong, there have been times where I worried and I didn't think this was going to end up even happening. I didn't even think I was going to be able to do the studio. I didn't think I was going to be able to handle what it takes to run another business. But here I am. Yeah, I quit worrying and I'm taking it one thing to the next. Worriers are these people that are people like that. We worry when we have way too many variables to decide, right? So trust me, I know this from experience. We all do. You got all these different variables and you're trying to make a decision. But what I'm realizing is when we are able to delegate authority to others and decide to control things, we control things. It's more harmonious when you're able to delegate, right? So this is a trait of great businessmen. They delegate authority and they trust in others to do the work. So the Tao, just if you're not as familiar with it, the Tao is known as and is translated to the way, or the way of things. So the more we let go of it, the more we trust it, the more you realize the inseparable identity of self and others. So in the end, the greatest power comes not from trying to hold on to control, but the greatest power comes in letting go, in trusting others and trusting life itself. Through this, we can tap into a greater energy that can guide us, making our lives flow effortlessly like the great Tao. Thanks for watching, and namaste.